Mr Assistant President, I rise to take note of an answer I received to a supplementary question for written answer yesterday, and I thank the Honourable Yasmin Catley for providing this answer, although perhaps the House will query that when I read the answer. So the question was fairly simple. How many confirmed or suspected gangland shootings have occurred since you were appointed as Minister for Police and Counter-Terrorism? And her considered answer: too many have occurred. This is perhaps the most disrespectful and disingenuous answer that I have ever received to a question. This is the ministerial equivalent of talk to the hand. This is an answer that said, I'm not even prepared to consult the data. I'm not prepared to ask someone in my office to check the data. I regard the upper house with such contempt, I'm not prepared to take more than the derisory 30 seconds it would have taken to dictate this answer. This is a sign of the deep disrespect which the executive in this government, the Premier and the ministers, are showing to the people through Parliament. Our system works where the executive is answerable to the people through Parliament. And every time a minister sends an answer like this, every time a minister stands there and says, Parliament has directed me to give you information, I am refusing. Every time that happens, that is a minister, that is a Premier, that is an executive that is saying, I don't accept that we are accountable to the people of New South Wales. I don't accept that we have to answer questions. I don't accept that we are subject to review. And can I say that every time an executive tries to say, I am not answerable to Parliament, that never ends well for democracy. And if we look at this answer, too many, what does that even mean? This is an answer that raises more questions than it solves. In my view, too many is one. One gangland shooting is too many. But too many we commonly see as meaning excessive. So perhaps the minister is telling us there's an appropriate amount of gangland shootings, but we now have too many. And she tells us that there's legislation, in fact legislation that we're in the process of considering in relation to this. But what is the evidence base for this legislation? Or is the number of gangland shootings perhaps also cabinet in confidence because nobody is meant to know and be able to calibrate safety? This is disrespectful and inappropriate, and wouldn't you think she could have checked the database and provided a number?